you've ran big companies, you've done some really big things, which requires your time, your presence, your attention. How do we keep the love intact?
For the first 15 years of our marriage, I did it absolutely wrong. It got to the point where I would spend 6 days working. I was really only home on a Sunday, and I wasn't even present then.
We always tell people, keep dating. Even if you get married, treat your spouse like you're their boyfriend, their girlfriend.
If you can't take care of yourself, how can you possibly take care of me? That's just the fundamental shift. She's not responsible for making me happy.
Yeah.
I'm responsible for making me happy.
Welcome to the Sell Anything podcast. I have with me Molly and Kevin Richards, or Kevin and Molly Richards. I don't know which way to introduce you guys first. I don't know that it even matters.
It's absolutely always Molly first.
That's why I did it. Yeah. That's what I thought too.
Absolutely.
So thank you guys for coming. I want to lead with something though. 31 years in October. That's a long, long time. Mm-hmm. So let's start with just a simple question. What's the secret? Like, and I want both of your answers. How do we stay married 31 years when divorce is so prevalent?
I'll go first because you're going to tell me to go first, right? So first, thank you so much for having us on. We're super excited, and your podcast is amazing, and just getting to know you has been really fun. I would say we do talk about this a lot, and we have helped a lot of couples in their own marriage, and we date each other. So we always tell people, young people, especially, we're like, keep dating. Even if you get married, treat your spouse like you're their boyfriend, their girlfriend, because you're trying to be cute, when you're dating, and then you get married and you lose those habits, right? All of a sudden you're grouchy, you're nagging, you're not dressing cute, you're not showing up. But if you continue that all through your marriage, you just are better off. And I think that we're always about that. We always say, always be dating. And so that's one of our big things.
I think over time you get, comfortable is not the right word, but you get disconnected a little bit.
Okay.
And a lot of the times in our experience that happens because you both start worrying about yourselves instead of each other. You're not having conversations. You're not having real honest relationship. You're not playful. You're not dating. And when you see that happening and you start realizing that, you're going through a day as, almost like roommates. And it starts to feel like that. It's very transactional. It's very, even sometimes the sex is going to be transactional, right? It's just kind of, you're going through the process, you're going through the procedures, and you're not truly, going back to the word dating, you're not doing the activities to the point, just give the example, this was happening to us not that long ago, probably like 3 years ago, where we just kind of got in this routine and everything seemed great. Work was good, life was good, friendships with other people were good, personal life was good, but we weren't good. Like we weren't connected. And we weren't at the point of divorce. We weren't at a critical point. We've been there before, but not in this case. We just kind of slowly drifted to the point where we weren't being honest with each other and we weren't putting in the effort toward each other. And when you make a conscious shift and just make some little tweaks and adjustments, that's when everything changes. And the reality is one of you has to do it first.
That's so powerful. I agree. And you were saying kind of the same thing in that, like, if you quit dressing cute, because I know for guys, like, I remember going to pick up my wife and she's like dolling up, like to be ready, like to go on a date. Yeah. And then you get into the thick of having kids and you're like, dude, just put on a hoodie. Like let's
There's a time and place for hoodies.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, like, well, you can look really cute in a hoodie. Hoodies are great. But it's like, but it is so important because it's still when my wife comes out and she's taking the time to get dolled up, I'm like, oh, hey-o. That's
that's cute. Yeah. We do like a weekly date night, and we have for mostly all the years that we've been together. And that takes effort, of course, even when our kids were young, even getting babysitters and all that. But I just think like making that effort and getting cute for that night is really important. And is it a pain? Does it take time, right? Does it take effort? Yes, but I want him to remember who he's with. And like, I just think that's important to be cute for him because I want him to be cute for me. Right. You know what I mean?
I love that. So you've been doing it almost the whole 30 years. And I guess you guys dated for 5 years before. So I'm just like doing the math in my head. That's like over 1,700 dates if we're just going once a week.
Yeah, it's a lot of dates. Since 1990 that we've been together, which that makes us feel really old. But let's not do math right now. Yeah.
Yeah.
And we always talk about dates can be like really simple or they could be extravagant, right? We've done so many different ones. But one thing that Kevin started to do in the last couple of years, which has been so cool, is during dinner or whatever we're doing, he'll have questions. And, it's really fun. And it'll be getting to know you questions. Yeah. Hello, he should know everything about me at this point. That's what I think.
Right.
However, he'll come up with these questions that I'm like, you know what? We've never talked about this before. Or, oh my gosh, let me tell you these fun details. We end up laughing, having the best time. And because of that, we grow closer. And it's so fun. And then he's sexier to me. And, we become closer. Like he literally learns stuff about me still. So I think, again, putting in that effort, thinking, how can I keep this fresh? How can I keep this fun? If you've been together 1 year, 5 years, 10, as long as we have. So I just feel like that's like something that's really blessed our marriage.
Okay. Yeah, and it's not about just a date. That's what she's giving examples. It's truly preparing for that date and treating it like it is a date, right? So the way you dress, like you said, it really matters when you're putting in that effort, because if it was a first date, third date, fifth date, 10th date, whatever it is, that's the effort you'd put in. You'd show up, opening the car door for her, coming in with conversation pieces. Like, I literally spent, when we were in a rough spot, we were still dating, but like I said, the dates themselves were
just going through the actions,
going to dinner, right? And it was just, then we'd talk about things in our life, or we'd talk about things going on with the kids or things going on with family, and it just was another dinner. And when I made a conscious effort, I'm like, wait, what if I actually showed up and just started acting like I would from the day we met, and got to know her again, and I researched like what that would look like, which is ridiculous to think you have to research it, but you forget, right? Yeah. And then I started doing those things. So, I treated it like it was truly a, fifth date. So we weren't literally just meeting for the first time, but I was absolutely trying to establish myself as the man she wanted to be with. And I try and do that for the most part every single time.
I got no words, dude. That's powerful. Like that makes so much sense to me. So I'm curious, what are some of the questions? What did he ask you? Like, because like, do you know her for 36 years?
Right.
What is that shift? So you're like, I'm going to ask a question. Like, what is the question?
I'll remember some of them.
Yeah.
I do remember some of them. Some of them are like, what is your best memory of like our favorite date back in the day? Like that was a fun one. Or what are some of the things you like me to do to you to relax? And or to the point of also like detailed questions like that. Also like, what do you want right now? Like that was the moment where I was like, we'd be at dinner and all of a sudden I'm crying because someone, you know what I mean? He actually cared enough to say, what do you want? Not like, what can I do for you? But like, what do you want? I think that was one of the most powerful ones, but it was really, really fun when you would ask really detailed things like, do you remember what our favorite movie was? Or if we could go on a date next week that was really magical, what would it be? Like there's so many opportunities. We have a whole list of them, by the way.
Yeah.
No, I love it.
We do. We kept a running list. So
can I put you on the hot seat just for a little bit?
Yeah.
As a mom and like being busy and doing mom things, what's the framework that you used to know what you want? Because you ask a lot of moms, especially, like, what do you want? I'll tell everything they don't want.
Right.
How did you find out? How do you know?
I did that route for a long time.
Okay.
I did that. I would give them a list of all the things I didn't want. And I think as a mom, you're really, you don't give up a lot of you, but it gradually happens, right? You're just really caring about your kids. And you forget that you have wants, and you feel guilty for having wants. And we focus on like what I need or what I think just survival mode. And I got into that. And what happened was I actually became less of myself. I became sad. I became depressed. I actually gained weight. I lost a lot of my sense of self. And I know this happens to moms because I talk to them all the time, women. And I'm so blessed that I had a man to actually see that was missing in me. And you're going to try to make me cry. No, I'm just kidding. But he knew that once he unlocked that it would make me happier. I would discover what I do want, and it would strengthen us, which it did. And when you ask me that, I'll literally tell you, he asked me that as we were sitting on the beach 3 years ago, and our marriage was bad. And we looked like we had everything going on. People looked at us. They're like, "You guys are so perfect, and you have the cars, the house, the jobs, your kids are thriving. You're hot." No, I'm kidding. But I remember we're sitting there at the beach, and he was like, "What do you want?" And all I could think of was Noah from The Notebook, where he's like, "What do you want?" But it was this moment, and I said, "I actually don't know." And since then, it's been a really awesome journey of figuring out what I want. Was it hard? Yes, right? Were there a lot of tears? Yes. But it brought us so close. And I just think like if men and women could ask each other, husbands and wives can ask each other, like, what do you want? And what do you need? And how can I provide that for you? Or what support can I give? Oh my goodness. You won't just unlock your marriage. You won't become happier. You will become happier, but also it will ultimately help your business too, because I feel like we've thrived since then. So it's been very cool.
You do have one little hack.
What is it?
What do you do every single day first thing in the morning?
Oh, I do not open my phone to go to social media or the news. That's like the worst thing for you. I immediately just open my Bible app. And he suggested that to me like 2-3 years ago because I would do what everyone does and I would immediately go into lack mode, right? I'd go onto Instagram. What do I not have? Why don't I look like that? Why aren't we doing that? Why aren't we on that vacation? I would do that, even though we have everything we need and we're very blessed. That's just what we do, right? And so a few years ago, he was like, I have a favor. And I think this will really be good for you. So we both do it. We just go straight into prayer and spending time with God, at least 30 minutes. Everything else happens after that. But I'm telling you, if you do word before worry, your world will change. And that was one thing that he completely told me, not told me to do, but just said, I'm doing this, and I think it would really help you. It's been amazing. So
that's powerful.
Yeah.
So the cool thing is you were doing it first. So you could invite her to it instead of demanding, hey, do this.
Right.
Because it was, I'm doing it, it's working for me.
Yeah.
And it took someone telling me the exact same thing. It wasn't something I discovered because I'm that smart. It took someone saying, this is what you do, and this will change your life. And it did for me. And then I just wanted to share it with her. But I think it is one thing specifically that's allowed her to worry less, for lack of a better term. And I think worry is something specific that moms do. It's just a nature because it's their responsibility in their heads to keep everything, all of us alive, for lack of a better term, right? In all the different ways. And I think it's natural. I think it's one more thing when you can start, for each of us, you start our day truly listening to God and staying in His Word and then having a conversation with Him. It helps us to kind of go through the day in faith, absolutely, to go through the day in faith instead of fear. Yeah. And those are just the two dividing parts, right?
Dude, that's so powerful. I love the way you phrased it, word before worry. That's huge.
Yeah, that's been a game changer. In my energy and my mindset and my joy and how I show up for Him, how I show up for my kids. And our kids know that's how we start a day. They're like, that is so cool. And so to see them, do it too is really cool.
It's contagious.
He's contagious.
I love it. Okay. So that's a huge hack, actually. The word before, I could not agree more.
Word before world is what I say too.
More better.
Yeah, just because the news and all that stuff, like you're just going to go down this, negativity. Instead, you're like, let me go up instead of looking down at all the crap.
Word before world is way better. I love that. Because in my mind, I'm like, I don't worry about anything.
Yeah, okay.
But the world is like...
Right.
Dude, it'll get you.
Yeah.
So you put the word in for sure. That's so powerful. What else, dude? You guys have so many nuggets. I'm going to say what else.
Well, I think when we got to that point, she's talking about questions, a little life hack for the dudes. I didn't start with heavy conversation or heavy questions. Literally simple ones. And even those, I learned fun things about her. Questions like, what was your favorite gift you got as a kid? Was one of them. And I learned something brand new about her. She had 2 parakeets.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
I did.
And I learned the names of them. I had no idea. I've known her for...
Literally last week he learned that I had 2 birds
30-something years at that point when I asked the question. Yeah. I'm like, you had parakeets? I had no idea. Like, you'd think that would be something you'd know about your spouse at some point. I had no idea.
What were their names?
Oh, I know. Wait, Bonnie and Clyde, right? No. They're named after the Pac-Man ghosts. I remember that. I don't remember the name.
Ghosts. And we couldn't remember that. That's the problem.
So she doesn't remember the name either, just to be clear. But I do know they were named after Pac-Man ghosts because I'm a good listener.
But I think, but the fun thing about the question asking on dates and stuff is that, you could be dating like freshly dating, married not very long, like I said, or forever, but there's still so much room for discovery. And it's just the coolest thing when you're like, oh, he got so excited when you learned that about me. He's like, this is crazy. We could still, have fun. We have a lot of fun together, and you got to decide on that too.
So then you ramp the questions up, and you can depend on where you want to go with that.
Yeah.
I have those type of questions that are really learning about her past. And I think instead of putting pressure on the things about us that she liked or didn't like, I talked about the first questions were things about her past that she did like or didn't like, right? So I'm trying to get her to know her as if we haven't dated at all. Those were the first round of questions. And then the second round were more about us and her personally, like what does she want, what does she like, what doesn't she like, which would be, again, very similar to if you were dating at like date 5 to 10, is like you're trying to figure out what they like. And then you get a little racy. Those are fun. Like you can ask some racy questions.
Yeah.
Especially at a restaurant where
what
it's
do you
quiet.
like? What do you like? What do you like in bed, or where do you like it if it's not bed? Like all kinds of fun conversations and questions. And then finally, after those, we started getting into deeper conversations. Like, where are we going in our lives? Like, is this working? Where do you see us in 20 years? Like, things like that.
Yeah.
But it didn't start there, or else it's not going to go anywhere. Then it just feels like an attack
Yeah.
instead of flirting. It was just like, if you can make it feel like you're still flirting through the entire process, that's the game.
Flirting, man. I actually forgot that word. I love that word. It's a great word. Okay, yeah.
You say I'm a flirt, so it's easy for me.
Yes, you are a flirt built into your DNA.
Yeah. But flirting is fun. Like, we'll go to the gym, and across the room, I'm flirting with him. Like, I'm looking at him through the mirrors. I'm, like, trying to look cute at the gym. You know what I mean? Like, he's always flirting, too. You got to flirt.
Yeah, I agree. Because it makes it fun.
Yeah.
It becomes a fun game.
Yeah.
Okay, so you said we have a list of these questions. I'm so intrigued by these questions. Like, do you have is it like a PDF that you could like?
We do.
Yeah.
And he would show up on dates with notes.
Yeah.
Like, we always have like a no phone policy during our dates because it's just like, that's so
little
distracting.
hacks like these are what we need to know.
Oh, okay.
Like,
we're just like, put your phone away. Or a lot of the times lately, I leave my phone at home.
Smart.
It is wild stuff. I know. But, we don't have young kids, so we're able to do that. But we make sure one person has their phone. But that's just a distraction, right? But he'll bring his notes out, and he has all the questions on there. It's so fun. Yeah. And then we did put them into a PDF, yes.
So smart. So smart. Okay. I want to have more articulate questions, but I really just am in awe where I'm like, what else are they going to say? Okay. How did you guys meet? Let's just start there, actually.
Yeah. You want to tell it?
Okay, sure.
And then you tell it and I'll
He'll
correct
color
it.
commentate. Oh, you'll correct it.
Yeah.
Okay, this is silly. So 1990, I was a junior in high school.
Okay.
And a friend of mine asked me to go to a Christian camp, right? It was a winter camp. And I did not go to that church. But I said, are there going to be cute boys there? And she said, probably. So I went, and he stepped off the bus. This sounds really weird. When I tell the story, people look at me like I'm crazy, but that's okay. He steps off the bus, and the minute he stepped off, I literally felt in my soul that I was going to marry him. And I was like a dating girl. I was I wasn't wild, but I was a little bit wild in high school.
Like, yes,
and he steps off this bus, and I was like, I don't even know this guy. I think I'm going to marry him. What is going on? And so I had to go in. I picked up on him, and I was like, hey, I'm Molly. How's it going? Do you want to go tubing? Because we were in the snow, and you could tube down, right? Mm-hmm. And he's like, sure. And then we just spent the whole weekend together. And the friend that brought me wasn't a huge fan of his. You weren't a big fan of hers, but I didn't care. I was like, we're doing this. And then, we dated all through high school and college, broke up a couple times, got back together, but ultimately we just knew we were like soulmates. Like, it's really weird to think about.
Yeah. That's so cool.
We knew we were soulmates, but apparently so did everyone else. So every time we broke up, someone would make sure that we reconnected in some way to the point we had one breakup that was the longest we've ever had. I think it was almost 6 months that we'd broken up. And we were dating other people. Like, it was a solid breakup, not just on a break. Like, as solid of a breakup as we ever had. And my sister was getting married and put her in the wedding.
I was a bridesmaid.
While we're dating other people. So sure enough, it worked. That was the last time.
I think I paged him, and I was like, you need to call me back, on the pager.
That was the
That's
last
how old
time.
we are. No.
Yeah. That was the last time we ever broke up, was my sister's wedding.
Yep.
Yeah.
Wild, dude. Way to go, sister. Way to go.
She still claims it.
Yeah, she does.
Smart. So here's the other question. So obviously you guys have been very successful. What are the secrets of keeping, besides dating? Like, because you get in the thick, like you've ran big companies, you've done some really big things, which requires your time, your presence, your attention. Like, what do we do? Like, how do we keep the love intact while you're out there doing it and you're momming and like, how do we do it?
Wrong for a lot of the time. I think I would say for the first 15 years of our marriage, I did it absolutely wrong. And I think so many of us can get caught up to it because I think we think our number one thing can become our work and it can define us. So late nights, which is fine sometimes in the right time, or worse, not just late nights, but events at night and then weekends with work instead of her. And it got to the point where I would spend 6 days working or spending time with work people. And I was really only home on a Sunday and I wasn't even present then, right?
So you were golfing.
So it's nearly impossible.
Hot button.
Yeah. And so I wasn't present and I wasn't doing, and in my mind, I was doing what was important for us as a family, but I wasn't actually. And that became a cycle until our kids got a little older. And honestly, I looked back at my life as a kid, and you know how you can look back and you have a choice. You can either repeat things you learned as that you didn't like, or you can change them and be that, what do they call that? Like we would break a cycle.
Yeah.
Right? And I looked back at my life, honestly. I looked at my father and I saw repeating patterns that I was doing, and I broke the cycle. And I made a commitment when I think my daughter was 14 or 15 and my son was 11 or 12, where I said, I will never miss another thing. So it didn't mean I didn't work ridiculously hard. It didn't mean I didn't go on trips or stay up late and work long hours. But if one of my kids had an event, they were going to see me there every single time. And that has a ripple effect into our marriage.
Yeah.
So when you show up as a man, as the man your wife would find attractive, that's one of the clear traits, is just showing up and never missing key events and being present and being truly present, not on my phone present, not like literally I will hand her my phone and she'll put it in her purse, not because, you know, my balls are there too, but because it allows me to be to be 100% present at the event, whatever we're doing, and the kids see our faces every time. And that is honestly, other than our dating tip, the other most important tip I would give any father is don't miss a single thing. Like I run teams, large teams, and that's one of my rules in my teams is if I don't ever worry about asking me for time off to go see something, be at something, see your kids' dance recital, game, rehearsal, whatever it is. Opposite. If I hear that you're missing things because of work, then we're going to have a conversation because it means you're not putting family as a priority.
Can I ask a loaded question?
Absolutely.
So you mentioned the cycle that you saw repeating that your dad was doing.
Yep.
Where did you learn the cycle then, or the pattern of like show up, be present? Like where did you learn that?
I don't have an answer. That's a great question.
I mean, I look back because I was listening to you and it was bringing me back, like I was visualizing it. And I think that we just got kind of in a you know, toward like a pit. That's what we call it, right?
Yeah.
We got in the pit and it was like, and we also had a couple friends that were a little bit ahead of us, like, or telling us, I think they were good examples to us. And anyway, we just made the decision. I think that he actually should give himself more credit of like, I need to stop this. I'm important to him. The kids are important to him. We just had to do it. I really think so. I think you had just this moment where you were like, I got to change this.
Yeah.
Because your dad missed a lot of your things, and I know it bummed you out. And so you were like, I don't want to do that to my kids.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good question.
Yeah.
I think it was. I think it's just little impacts from lots of different people. Finally, giving myself permission was at the end of the day. It's just like anything else. You can really do anything. Like there's no reason you can't go to your kids' games other than you're telling yourself you can't go to the games, right?
Right.
There's no reason you can't show up for anything that actually truly matters. So it was just a decision, and I wasn't willing to give myself permission to do that. And I think that is a powerful lesson you learn, and if you do that throughout work, that can be like all the things you think you should be afraid to say are the things you probably should say. You know, it's like at the end of the day.
I kind of want to lead. What's your take on that? All the things that you're afraid to say you should say, like when you hear that, how do you interpret that? Because that's so powerful. I
you
just
mean
want
in
your
like
perspective
in
on
marriage and life?
it. Just in life in general.
I feel like at this point he could read my face
Yeah.
and my energy. But like we say, like honesty and just being real, truthful with us first, and then with our spouse, and like just being honest and upfront and knowing what you want. I swear it all comes from knowing what you want, knowing what you want as an individual, knowing what you want for each other, and then like family. And then I think all of that just grounded in God is like the key we have discovered, like literally in the last couple of years. Like, and then just being clear and telling him, because he'll know if I'm quiet. I'm very chatty, and so if I'm quiet, he's like, something's going on. Are you okay? Right? Like it's just really interesting. So.
Because he's present, because he can pay attention.
Oh, yeah. He's really good at like my energy and my, just my energy.
Well, it's easy when you only have to do it for 10 years out of 30.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Honey, give yourself more credit. Yeah.
Yeah, that's too funny.
That is funny.
Okay, well, here's the other thing I kind of want to pull out. So off screen, we were talking about prayer, praying together as a couple. Mm-hmm. You guys obviously met at a Christian camp. What role does God play in your guys' life?
I'll go first.
Yeah, go.
Okay. I love this question though. So, you could, all the priorities that we have and like jobs, future, kids, all of that. But number one, we always say is God, and then Kevin, and then our kids. So I think a lot of people, and I was this before, we put our kids number one.
Over God and Kevin.
Over everything.
Yep.
And I have to say, we're empty nesters now. Our kids have flown. They're doing their thing. And if I didn't have God as my priority and then Kevin, we'd probably not be together. Right. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or we would fight more when I thought about the kids first. So God first, then Kevin, and then the kids. And our kids always knew that. And I remember like writing on social media back then, that this whole thing, and our kids were like, wait, why are we third? And I'm like, because this is how it works. You know what I mean?
Kevin,
like,
there would be no you.
Right. Without God, we're a mess. Without Dad, we need to stay together so that we can have a solid marriage to give our family the best chance possible. And so that has just been we have to go back to that all the time.
Powerful. Because guess what kids do?
They divide.
They
divide you, dude, and they leave.
They leave eventually. Yeah. I mean, you hope, right?
Yeah.
You hope eventually they leave, and sure enough, they do. And you don't, like we'd seen so many times, and again, talk about not repeating patterns, not to bring up too much about my childhood, but that was a pattern in my life. Mm-hmm. We were dating, and, I got out of high school, I went to college, and that's when my parents decided they'd done enough and they'd seen it. And you see that so many times where people
And they got a divorce?
They got a divorce.
Yeah.
So
After
you see it
years.
so many times where people just make it to get their kids out of the house.
Right.
But by the time they get there, they hate each other.
Yeah.
Or they don't, at least they don't love each other.
Yeah.
Right.
And again, it's just, you have to break cycles because you don't want to do this again. At least we don't want to do this again. And I know that there's no one better. She still gives me goosebumps and all the other great feelings. And I know, I don't want to go through that process.
Right.
I can date her and I know the outcome is going to be great versus just going back into the ocean and trying again. It does not sound fun at all to me. So that for us is the big thing, but we also don't 100% agree on it, or we shifted a little bit. Mm-hmm. So we're pretty consistent over the last 15 plus years that it is God, then each other, and then the kids. And I think that's the right order. But we had to make a shift about 3 years ago because what we were doing is leaving it ourselves.
Yep.
If you look at that, you're like, well, okay, am I fourth?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Why do I get to be fourth? And it's not so much for men. I think we're good enough at saying what we want and standing up for ourselves, even if it's a pouty way, right? We're pretty good at communicating, and sometimes we don't do it in the best way, but we're good at just
we'll get the point across.
We'll get it out, right? Women won't. They will hold it in and have guilt for holding it in, even though they shouldn't. And so we had to make an adjustment where I said, look, that's all good and well, but if you can't take care of yourself, how can you possibly take care of me?
Yeah.
So we made an adjustment where it's God, then ourselves.
I forgot about that.
And then each other,
That's what moms
and then
do.
our kids. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And I think that's just the fundamental shift.
Yeah.
Right? It's like,
Yeah.
I have to take care of me. And yes, I want to date you,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm responsible for me. You're not responsible for me. Like, she's not responsible for making me happy.
Yeah.
I'm responsible for making me happy. And that's when you get into
And same with me, where I used
truth.
to get unhappy and I would blame him. You know what I mean?
yeah.
I'd be like, I'm a mess, I'm this and that, and it's your fault. I wouldn't say it that clearly, but I would kind of insinuate that. And then he's like feeling responsible for everything at this point. He's like,
Yeah.
oh my gosh, I'm trying to do everything and I have to also make you happy. It's like, yes. So thank you for reminding me of that.
No, that's awesome. That is so huge. Like, and women are so selfless that you do like all the time. I think it's. But you're right. We'll either be very direct and be like, "This is what I want," or we'll be like, "I'm not going to say shit,"
right.
and
That
you're going
is
to know I'm
true.
pissed.
Yeah.
That is true.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
that's funny.
Wild. Okay. So God, yourself, spouse, kids.
Yeah.
Yep.
Awesome. And then how do you fit in the rest of the stuff? Like, so those are 4 really big priorities, but obviously you've branched out of those priorities and crushed it in other areas. That's what gives you the freedom to go do what you want to do. How have you balanced it all?
I think I'll start. We thankfully, 15 years ago or whatever, I think realized how important it is to really know what we want together as a couple and know where we're going and know what our goals are, together, and then like financially and future and faith and all those things, right? We would talk about where we want to be in the next 6 months, year, 3 years, 10 years. And yeah, just being clear on that. And then as a couple, like we would write our own things and then we'd come together and we would discuss it. So knowing that whenever little glitches, little opportunities came up, problems, anything, or, new ideas, we're like, does that go in alignment with what we want, what we talked about? And I think a lot of the times people don't talk about it, couples, right? You're just like, you think you think, but you don't talk, you're not really discussing it. You're not getting detailed. We always had pretty good detail about where we thought we were going, where we wanted to go. And so if other things happened, we would just like, don't do that. Let's not do that. Let's do that. Am I making sense? I don't even know. But
so much sense.
but I just, you could probably.
No, I was just going to say, we do that, and then if we're wrong together.
Yes,
Yeah.
totally. I'm
You
not
know,
like,
and
you
so
did this.
So then you're not taking the blame,
Right.
and
Right.
you can't blame them,
Right.
and vice versa.
Yeah.
And-
We're like, oh, we
And when
messed
that
up, big
does
deal.
happen, it's really, really bad.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I'm sure that happens to everyone.
Yeah.
And I know it does, where you make a decision where you feel like, you don't make it together. And sure enough, they're like, well, you made me do this, or you
Turns
made that
out you're
decision.
right. Sorry.
And when that happens,
Yeah.
it's just, no one feels good. But we make decisions together. I think the other thing that I would say to it, though, because it's not always been success. It is pits and then peaks. And you go
100%.
through that, and that's what that's the reality of life.
Yeah, and no one wants to talk about the pit.
No.
But in reality, that's where you're forged to get to the peak.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I will say, whenever I am in the pit, it's because I've gotten further away from my faith.
Yeah.
And I don't know about everyone, and I don't know if that's true for everyone, but for me, that
That's
is
been my
absolutely
experience.
true.
Yeah.
That God has a very unique way of pushing me into a point where I'm uncomfortable
Yeah.
in a way for me to come back to Him. And if I try and solve it myself first, it doesn't get solved. If I put my faith in Him, it ends up getting solved, and
Yeah.
things all of a sudden become easier. And that is the truth. Like
Absolutely.
I cannot solve this on my own, and every time I try, I make it worse, not better,
Yeah.
including in our relationship. And when I put it to Him, and whether that's my health, whether that's my fitness, whether that's my faith, whether that's my finances, whether that's our relationship, doesn't matter what it is. Every time He's in charge, and I just put faith in Him, things get better. And every time I think I have it under control, and I think I know what I'm doing, I mess it up.
Truer words have never been spoken.
Yeah.
That's so true.
Yeah. Even at night, every night we pray at dinner, and we're holding hands, we're praying. And yes, it takes intentional effort to do that, but
does.
I think it's super romantic, by the way. So guys should do it. But it's really awesome because we just tell God, like, whatever your will is, whatever you want for us, we're here, we're listening. It's all up to you. And I love when you say that, because I'm like, so many times we want to just be in control. And I just think doing that every night is just the coolest thing. I'm like, whoa, yes, go. But yeah.
But it also reminded me of something, a more simple tip for the guys out there that are dating. You said that, like, it's super sexy. And there are so many things we know about our spouses. Like, you know your partner. You know her pretty well, especially if you've been married for a fair bit. You're 20 years, I think you said?
Yes, sir.
Amazing.
20 years is a long time. You learn a lot about each other.
Right.
You know the things. There's always those things that you know she finds attractive.
Right.
But for some reason you don't do, and you're just causing friction instead of making yourself a more attractive version. And prayer isn't one of them. We do that, and that's something, like, there's no friction there. But silly little ones, like barbecuing.
Yeah.
We fought about me barbecuing for
Grilling,
like 20 years.
I'd be like, babe, please go grill dinner. I just wanted to get off the hook of making dinner.
Yeah.
So
Not even that.
No, I
you're
really
like-
thought it was sexy. I was
she's
like, can you go grill?
It's sexy when a guy grills.
Yeah.
And in my head, again, I'm thinking
go
of
grill?
all the things I've done already in the day, and
Yeah.
the reality of having to come home and grill. It's typically
The real
dark.
question is, you just do it in an apron, and that's it. You're like,
Maybe
I
once.
may have done
maybe
that
once.
once.
you're like,
We just told that
you were
story.
empty nesters.
Oh my gosh, you're right.
Yeah. But
Okay.
it's just that little shift. I grill 5 days a week
You
now.
do. It is so
And
sexy.
you just create a habit. So it's like,
Yeah.
whether it's exercise, flip that, right? We have always been pretty fit, and we take care of ourselves. We've never worked out together. For 20 plus years, she was a personal trainer or a fitness instructor, and I've been a CrossFit coach. And, I've stayed pretty fit my whole life, and, done competitive stuff and all the things. We've never worked out together. And again, like 2-3 years ago, I kept telling her, I'm like, just come to the gym with me. Because I thought it'd be sexy.
Yeah.
It'd be fun and sexy. And turns out I
It
was
fun
right.
and sexy.
Yeah. But it's just another example, like the flip that. If your spouse is asking you to do something, it's not because they want to be annoying. It's because they actually find that an attractive trait, and they're trying to encourage you to do it. So
Yeah. Now I look forward to it, and I fought him on it. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm going to get muscle and I'm going to get big. And then I got muscle and I got smaller. And then we look at our time at the gym as date night. I mean, really, we go at 4:00 every day.
Yeah.
And we have fun together. People think we're crazy at the gym. Well, not crazy. They say they're envious that I want to work out with him, or that he wants to work out with me, or that we take that time to do it. They're like, I like to work out in the morning. Well, I do too, but I want to spend time with him.
Right.
So that has been something that's really strengthened not just our bodies, but our relationship. And then I don't know, it's just really magical. And did I want to do it? No. But was it important to him? Yes. And so I showed up. He does so much of that for me all the time. I was like, I can do this.
and now you get to sleep with your trainer.
And now I get to sleep with my trainer.
It's a win. It's a
Oh my
win.
gosh, I love saying that.
Yeah. No, that is so fun. So I am curious, where did you guys raise your kids here in Arizona? Where did you guys raise your kids?
No.
Huntington Beach, California.
Oh,
Yeah.
you're from there?
Yeah,
So
yes.
you are from there?
Yes.
Like originally, you were from there as well?
I was from local areas, Orange County as well, nearby.
Orange County.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And we didn't live there forever. We moved around a little bit when they were younger. And when our daughter was going into junior high and our son was going into first grade, we made a commitment to live there until they both graduated. Because we didn't want them moving around. We didn't want them changing neighborhoods or changing schools.
Right.
And we did that. And so it was like a decision we made together. And it was a scary one when we made it, because living by the beach is a commitment. It's a commitment financially. It's a commitment. We made a leap of faith to do it at the time. And it wasn't easy to do. But we stayed committed to it regardless, and just made it
We were
work
so
for
young.
we
were so
15 plus years. And so we lived in Huntington Beach, raised our kids there.
Yeah.
Our son graduated high school, and we dropped him off at college and moved to Puerto Rico for a year.
I love that so much.
That was really fun.
Yeah,
You loved it.
I did love it.
Yeah.
So you guys jumped into the empty nester group in Puerto Rico.
We
Probably
did.
too early,
Yeah.
We're probably a little more aggressive than I
Yeah, that was
recommend.
pretty
Like when people
aggressive.
tell me, I'm like, probably wait more than 2 weeks before you go, moving basically out of the country.
Well, yeah. Our son was going to school like locally, so we were like, we'll make it look like he went away to school. We'll just go to Puerto Rico.
But if you think about it, like same, you were married young, right? We didn't have 5 years of dating people, and then we didn't have 5 years of being married together without kids, and then have kids at 30, 32.
Yeah.
We were just raising kids.
Yeah.
They went to high school, a little bit of college, raising kids.
So now we're having
100%.
fun. We're making up for it
Yeah.
now.
So-
We say we're in the, what is it called when you're newly married? Newlywed stage.
Newlyweds.
Yeah, we're newlyweds. That's
30
what we
years
say now.
deep. That's
yeah.
awesome. That's so cool. No, my wife and I actually were just talking about this last week where it's like, dude, we got to start doing some fun stuff, man. Because these guys are all going to bell on us. And then, then what are you just going to get in your phone? I'm going to go work? Like,
Which
so
that's
cool.
actually interesting. I'm going to say, because we talked about this a couple of years ago, probably like 7 years ago. We're like, oh my gosh, the kids are going to be gone soon. We just knew it was happening, right? Inevitable. And that's when we started doing hobbies more together, where I was like, okay, what would be fun to you? Like, what can I learn for you? And he said, snowboarding. And I was like, I'm scared. And he's like, but let's do it. And so we ended up snowboarding together. And like it was fun to just learn new things together.
So you can snowboard now?
Yeah.
And you guys go still?
I'm pretty slow, but I do it, and I like the outfits, and I really enjoy. I enjoy the after, hanging out. But I did it, and he thought it was cute, and I wanted to spend time with him.
Yeah.
And so that was one thing that we did. What else did we do? We did. I learned how to shoot guns.
Mountain biking.
We mountain biked.
Guns. Tennis.
Pickleball. Like, we'll just try new things together, because I think a lot of times, you get older, you're married, and you start going this way. She has her activities, and it's good for people to have their separate activities, of course. We have those too. But it's like, what can we do for fun this weekend? What do we want to do? How can we make other couple friends or hang out with other couples that have the same values as us? You know what I mean?
Right.
So it even could be, we've volunteered at church with the kids. We've done that together. But it's like we're always looking for something to bring us together that's also fun.
And sometimes they're complete bust,
Oh, that's
by the
true.
way.
This is true.
So my recommendation is don't run out and buy everything involved in any
We've done
specific
that.
sport. So tennis was a great one. She learned how to play tennis, and we were able to do that together for a long time, like a lot together. That's a fun activity. But road bikes.
Don't buy. I don't.
That was
trust
not
people.
that one didn't work,
Yeah.
right? So you never know.
Yeah.
Like, she was just literally afraid to be on a road on a bike, which did not
I
make
got
it
hit
fun.
one time.
See,
Now
now I'm out.
hit.
Now
I get
I'm
it.
definitely out. Okay.
No,
No, which is
seriously.
fine. I get it. That's part of the fun.
Yeah.
Right? Is experimenting. And honestly, that's one thing we've been doing since the day we met.
Yeah.
Like, I remember being on dates where she's 16, I'm 17, and we just went out and bought rollerblades together and then tried to learn how to rollerblade. Now, I know they don't rollerblade, so now we just dated ourselves.
Yeah.
But, like, we've
My
been
wife
doing that
actually
for a
wants to
long time.
rollerblade. She
It
loves
happens
it.
at the beach all the time. There's people.
I mock her. I should not, but I do.
See? That's a perfect example, right?
Yeah.
I recommended roller skates. You were not going to wear roller skates, so that was out.
I don't even think they made roller skates when
I'm
we did
picturing
that.
you in roller skates right now. That was bad.
Anyway,
Okay.
So doing things like that,
Yeah.
and it just goes back to the examples of being willing to do things instead of saying no, or that sounds stupid,
Yes.
Yeah.
or
I would never.
I have no interest.
Yeah.
Just be willing to show up. I mean, she's an extrovert, I'm an introvert.
Yeah.
She makes an effort to give me introvert things that we get to do just the two of us or just, alone. And I make an effort to go to things that I would normally not go so that she can get her extrovert energy out,
Gotcha.
Something like that.
Oh, yep, exactly.
That makes sense?
Yeah. Because we're better together.
We are better together.
Yes.
Yep.
That's honestly the theme that I'm hearing. Is just you make decisions together, you do things together. Together is just together is how you stay together. Simple.
I
Pray
agree.
together.
Yeah, we do.
Go to the gym together.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And I would say, like, if I do have people say, well, that's too much for me. That's too much time with my spouse. And I'm like, okay, that's okay. Like, have your own time, have your own hobbies, but just make sure that you're spending time together. You know what I mean? You don't
Right.
have to do all these activities, but you can snuggle,
Yeah.
you can talk, you can go on walks, you can just hang out together. And
But
so,
I can almost see why they would say it's too much because they're probably not putting in the effort to date each
yeah,
other.
Yeah.
true.
Like, because if you really think about it, when you're dating, you don't want to leave. You're like sleeping on their front room floor
Yeah.
just because you're like, I don't want to go yet. Like, again, and if you're keeping, because she was attracted to you at one point and you were attracted to her at one point, if you guys start
Exactly
doing those
right.
same things that you were doing in the beginning, it will probably work.
Exactly right.
Yes, 100%.
That's
Yep.
wild.
I agree.
Yeah.
Well, what else? Give me 2 more nuggets because this is incredible. This has been great.
Oh, I have one.
Okay.
This just happened the other night. It was his birthday 2 days
Okay.
ago, right? It was your birthday. And I'm getting
Happy
dressed.
birthday.
We're going out for like
36.
36
Nice, dude.
again.
Got married when he was 1.
Oh my
I like
gosh.
it. Yeah.
But we're just going out for like a casual dinner because that's how he rolls. He's like, low key, and it's like a Tuesday. So that's really random for a birthday night, right?
Right.
And so I go to my closet and I was just going to put on jeans and something, heels or whatever. And then I stopped myself. I was like, what would Kevin think would be cute and sexy? What would he like? What would make him light up right now? And it's not just because it's his birthday, but I want to look cute for him. And so I put on like this little skirt and these cute shoes and whatever. And I walked out and he looked like we were on our first date. He was like, I love that outfit.
Yeah.
You got to dress like that more often. I was like, really? And it was that simple little thing for me to stop for 1 second and not think, this will be comfy. This is my go-to outfit. I don't care. He wants that, but I'm not going to do it. I was like, what'll make him light up? Because he does that for me all the time, right, too? And that was just something where I was like, I need to pay attention to that more often. And so I went and ordered 20 skirts the next day. No, I'm just kidding, sort of. But, it's like simple things like that. He thought that was cute. I'm going to continue to do that.
Yeah.
And so, we want to be together. We're going to live to 120. So we are only like not even halfway there. So we always say that. We're going to be here for 70 more years. And we want to be as cute as we can for each other and mostly for ourselves. And then,
Right.
And we kind of match a lot too, so that's kind of fun.
It's rapport. It's rapport.
Yeah.
I can build on that, and I think it's just how I approach it, is how I approach everything. And when I shifted my mind to make our relationship, it's going to sound weird when I say it, but make it a game.
Doesn't sound weird at all.
I can complain about this, or I can do the work and fix it. And if I turn the work into a game, then I'm solving a riddle instead of trying to solve a problem.
Right.
Right. So that was the mindset I made. The shift I changed in my head was like, one, I'm going to fix this.
Okay.
I don't want to quit. And again, this has happened to us in the past. So it's not always this happy marriage.
Peaks
right?
and
We all
valleys.
know that.
Yeah.
But we were in a pretty deep valley, truly a pit. And I decided to just take ownership of it and not let her even know I was going to do it. So instead of going to her and saying, our marriage sucks, we have problems, I'm not happy, me, you. I'm like, I'm just going to try and fix it. So I'm just going to do the things that I think she'll find attractive, turn it into a game, and see if I can win her back without her even noticing. And effectively, that's what I did.
You did.
Like
Very
and it happened
sly.
really, really fast. Within like 3 weeks,
Yeah.
things were better, a lot better, really fast. Because I stopped literally harassing her about the things I wanted changed, and I just changed myself first. And I think that mentality, wherever you're at, whether it's your marriage or your job or a conversation or anything you're doing, right, a deal you're trying to close, it doesn't matter what you're doing. If you look at it like a game first, second, take full ownership of it. Like, I am in control, but then release everything to God at the same time.
It's a tough equation, but
right?
doable. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like that. It's like, I'm responsible, but at the end of the day, I can't control this anyways. I put it all into God's hands.
Yeah.
Those 3 things, whether it's in your marriage or your business or literally just in a conversation you're having or an opportunity or a sales call, it doesn't matter. When you approach it from that perspective, it is more fun.
Yeah.
And the results just compound, and you find out that all of a sudden you're winning again instead of trying to figure out the next word to say or trying to remember what you said last time so you can get the right phrase, stuff like that.
Dude, that makes so much sense to me. Athletes perform the best when they are playing a game.
Yes.
When it becomes a job, it's like, come on, dude. Just you're being paid millions of dollars to play a game.
Yeah.
Just have fun and play the game.
Yeah.
It's
That's
fun.
so true.
Yeah, I love that.
And you would say to me, like, do you want me more muscular or do you want me smaller? And I was like, muscles, please. And so then he would get more muscular. And he's like, do you want I'm going to try to grow my hair out. And I was like, okay, let's do that. And then I was like, I don't like it anymore. And he's like, cool, I'll cut it. Remember that? Like, that was funny. Yeah. Or like, do you like this shirt? I was like, do it this way. Like, that's okay to, I just thought it was really cute that you're like, I want to look the way you want me to. And also you liked the way that I then reacted to you. So then it made you want to keep going and then all of that. And I think what's cool is like all of this helped you not only be a sexier man, like husband and more attractive human also inside and out, but also because of that, it's helped your career too. Like, you know what I mean? Because he's just showing up fully him instead of wondering, oh my gosh, things are messed up with my wife, things aren't good at home. And I know that like if I'm kind of funky, he doesn't have the best days with his job. You said that, right? Where you're like, I really want, my whole goal in life is to make you happy. That's what he says to me. My whole goal in life is to make sure that you are just full of joy and you just get to enjoy life, because when you're happy, I'm happy, we're happy. And it's not a fake happy. It's like that solid, like, we're there, we're showing up. And because of that, he literally thrives in everything he does. And so, yeah, I think that's really cool that he, and for guys to do that, be like, is everything good? And not in a fake way, but like, how can I make it better? How can we make things better? And that just takes effort.
It takes a ton of effort for sure.
Yeah.
But it sounds like at the same time with your guys' hierarchy of God first, then yourselves, and then each other, he doesn't take ownership for your happiness. He's like, dude, that's on you, but I'm going to do everything I can to be the most attractive version of myself that I can. And then you get to choose if you want to play or not. Yeah,
totally.
That's so cool.
And he's been a really good example for me because, like I said, like women, moms especially, we let go of who we are, we forget who we are, we get in these bad habits. And so I think it's a really cool thing if a husband or a man or boyfriend, whatever, can notice that and say like, how can I help you? Or what do you want? And then he was a really good example.
So I don't agree.
Wait.
Things got worse. Sorry. Things got worse when I asked you what was wrong or how can I help. Things got worse, not better.
Really?
Yeah. So, I mean, that's why.
This is so interesting.
No, this is behind the scenes.
I like this. I'm leaning in.
Yeah, me too. I'm leaning in.
Behind the scenes, that's what she saw. But as I said, I spent probably 3 months researching how to show up for her.
Yeah.
And then literally went in dating mode, and it was purposeful to the point where she didn't even notice I was doing it. And then things started shifting again. But what I didn't do is ask you. I stopped asking, and I started doing. So you actually said it right.
That's true. That's true.
I showed up at the best person I thought she wanted to date, she wanted to be married to, she would want to have sex with, she would want to be the father of her children, as if she was making that decision today.
Yeah.
Because she was. Instead of me telling her to make a decision, I made it so the decision was easy. So I showed up as the man that she deserved in my head, first of all, but more importantly, that she actually wanted.
Yeah.
And also at the same time, ironically, like she said, the man I wanted to be.
Yeah.
Right.
And I was okay at that point if the man I wanted to be ended up that we were at a point where she didn't want to be with me anyways.
Yeah.
But I was going to damn near try as hard as I could to be the best man. And I'm like, I think it was Garrett White who said at an event, he's like, if you meet a man better than me, I want to meet him. I want to hang out with him because he's a hell of a guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I do. I remember that.
And that was my goal, right?
Yeah.
So I was like, I want to be that.
Yeah.
I want to be able to stand there and I was like, that's fine. If with everything I'm doing professionally, physically, emotionally, mentally, as a father, as a husband, as a spouse, as a partner, as a boyfriend, if that's not what you want, I'm okay because I know I'm doing my best.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And that was the shift I made. And when I made that shift, it worked, but I'd made the shift first.
Right.
So I stopped asking what she wanted. I started showing up as who I wanted.
Yeah.
And she, turns out that's an attractive person to her.
Well, and what I was getting at before I lost my train of thought was as I saw you becoming a more amazing man, I was like, I need to step up my game. I want to get fitter.
Yeah.
I remember that. I was like, I want to get fitter.
Yeah, it did have a ripple
I want
effect.
to get my hair longer.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was
Yeah.
like, I don't want to be left in the dust. Have my husband go looking super hot and really becoming like this more amazing man. Like, then he's not going to want me. Like, I'm going to level up. It was like a wild thing that we both did for each other. And I think that was a really big game changer for us. Yeah,
That's
we're very
so
grateful for it.
powerful.
I'm very grateful that we went through the hard times in our relationship over 31 years almost.
Yeah.
We've had a couple moments where like up and down. And like he said, it was when we lost touch with each other and with God, those two things. And then, once we get those all
The drift will
intact.
get you.
Yeah,
100%.
the drift.
Absolutely.
The drift. Yeah.
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 That's wild. Dude, I love this. This has been so good. Thank you guys so much. There's
You're
so
so
much,
sweet.
so much wisdom condensed into 58 minutes.
Oh my
so
gosh.
thank you guys.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you for coming on. So I will ask the token question though. Collectively, and they can be individual answers, obviously. What's the one piece of advice that you would give to the listeners so they could be more fully sold on themselves? And let's pretend that you're not speaking to the dudes, you're speaking to their wives.
Okay. Oh man. I knew that I did not want a marriage like my parents. So I, just like Kevin said, like changing things was important. And I just remember seeing my mom not really be supportive of my dad. And they barely talked. They barely kissed. They weren't very affectionate ever, especially in front of people. And I think they did have 9 kids, but I think they had sex 9 times. And so I just knew that they
Potent.
didn't have that closeness and physical relationship. And so as a kid, I literally didn't think that was important. And it's so important. My husband's very physical, and I used to think there was something weird about that, and it's so not. And so knowing that that's just who he is, and that he wants, and it's not weird, it's that he wants to touch me, he wants to please me, he wants to be comfortable with me, and it's something that literally I'm 53 now, and I think over the last 10 years it's changed into this thing where we have fun now. And so I would say to women, and my kids even know that I tell people this, I'm like, y'all need to have good loving, you need to be affectionate, you need to know what they want, know what you want, and be okay saying it. And when you have that close relationship, everything else changes. It is like, that's why it's, God tells us to do it, right?
Yeah.
That intimacy. And we might have done a little contest a few months ago. But yeah, anyway, I'm a gamer.
Yeah.
And so I'm a gamification girl. So little things like that. But I feel like just be there physically for your husband as well as emotionally, spiritually, all of that. But I struggle with that. And since learning what is important to him and then also knowing that like it's fun has changed our lives. And we'll be married for 50 more years.
Awesome.
Yeah. At least.
Yeah.
I love it. That's great.
What were
advice.
you going to
Thank
say? Oh,
Well, I get to go
oh
next.
yeah. You get to go next.
Am I allowed?
Yeah. Yes.
So the one thing I want everyone to know, if I could sit everyone down and tell them one secret to quote, it really is that life is just a game. And when you're able to approach whatever it is, whether it's your marriage, your job, your day ahead of you, if you can approach it truly as a game and find the joy in it and find it with joy and faith at the same time, everything shifts. And if you're not, you have to shift something. So that's my number one tip. If you wake up tomorrow morning and you're not excited about what you're going to do, in general, if you're not fired up for what's coming through the day, look at your day and like, why are you doing this? The world we live in right now, anything's possible.
Yeah.
I mean, with technology, AI, the ability to do the things we do, with the internet, the ability to get information out, it has never been easier to change everything tomorrow in your life. And if you're stuck, if you're worried, it's just because you're letting yourself be stuck and worried instead of finding the joy and finding the game. And I'm as guilty of that as anyone. So these are reminders I say to myself. If I wake up and I'm not fired up about anything, about my job, about my work, about a call I have, a client I have, a job, a relationship, anything like that, I'll stop and look at it and go, what's wrong? What do I need to change? Then I'll pray about it and say, God, where do you want me to go? And sure enough, he puts something in front of me that's different, new, and is truly a game.
Yeah.
And, maybe 3 years, that version will be, I won't be excited about it either, and then I'll have the same conversation.
Yeah.
Or, 50 years later, we're in a great relationship. But it's all just a game because we only get to play it once. If you're playing it and not excited about it, you can change it. You can change it like that in just a decision.
It's powerful. Thank you for sharing that. Thank you guys so much for coming on. And thank
you.
you for sharing all your wisdom.
Yeah.
Or a piece of your wisdom. I know there's way more in there. So thank you guys.
Yeah, man.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Is there any type of call to action? That, are you guys teaching a course? Because you should. If you're not,
We did have coaching for a while. We did.
We're not currently taking any coaches. The best thing to do is Molly does have a newsletter that she puts out that is specifically mostly for women. It's called Musings, correct?
On Substack.
On Substack.
I love Substack.
So
it's my new thing.
Real simple, real easy. She shares similar things we talked about, but also things that she's finding joy in and things that are giving her interest.
Okay.
And that's the best thing. And that would be the best way to keep in touch and kind of figure out what's going on in her life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I talk marriage. I talk midlife. I talk family. I talk women
All the
things.
things.
Yeah. Also fun fluff too.
I love it.
Yeah.
Okay. You guys are
Thank
awesome.
you
so it's
so
called
much.
Substack is where it's at?
Substack
Called
is
Muse.
the app, and my Substack is called Musings.
Musings.
Yeah. I just
Okay.
tell stories, and I have fun on there. My daughter told me about it. She's been doing it for like 4 years, and it's a very cool app. A lot of writers and things like that. It's fun.
So cool.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you guys again
Thank
for coming
you
on. You're awesome.
so much.